You know what you gotta love? You gotta love it when you work so hard on a video for many months for it just to flop. And I'm not being inconsiderate right here. I'm talking about deserved views not getting there because of my ill choices. And that ill choice being music. But music is what drives my channel forward. What could possibly be the reason for it to be a setback? Well, it's because of a little thing we in the business like to call copyright. It's not just any type of copyright. It's copyright that comes from probably the stupidest thing ever. Copyright from the background music that I use to spice up my videos.
What?
Yep. You read that right. It's the music that I use in the background that caused the copyright claims on my videos.
But why do I need background music in the first place?
That's a good question, and I mainly use it for 3 reasons.
Reason number 1 is to reduce the noise that is going to be picked up by my camera's mic. I don't have a dedicated mic to pick up my own voice, so I just resort to using the camera's mic on its own. And for long shots like this one taken from a distance, it usually picks up more noise than my own voice. So when I raise up the volume to enhance what I am saying, the noise also get enhanced. It just becomes a whole cluster. So what I do is just use background music to try and cover up the noise as much as possible and try to use whatever alternative I have possible at hand to enhance my voice and make it sound audible.
But as of recently, I usually just turn into the powerful AI tools that the modern time has to offer to enhance and reduce the noise. The second reason is to give an emphasis to a given point. As you guys know, I love doing these segments where it's just me giving commentary and a monologue over the most obvious things possible, but things that I doubt that you guys picked up upon. And on these segments, I like to, make sure that you guys are on the same page or on the same pace as I am. So changing up the music in the background might also help in making you guys have the notion that, oh shoot, what I'm about to hear is important. Let me give this a bit of attention, and we go on from there. And lastly, to catch your retention, it's no surprise that the average retention time of a social media user is as the size of a single pea. So to catch up with your ever diminishing retention time, I introduce subtle changes that you only subconsciously notice so that you would keep on watching to a certain extent that would make me at least feel comfortable with the video being a success.
And I'm telling you right now, having a sizable library of sounds to choose from is really essential, if not even more essential than whatever point I've mentioned up until this point. And that is where my problem sort of comes from. You see, I can't afford an epidemic sound subscription, so I just resort to use free background music off of YouTube, which turns out is not free, and it just cost me my video. But I had enough. I had enough of royalty-free beats on YouTube not being royalty-free at all. So screw it. I haven't learned music production and started introducing it into my content for nothing. I'm making my own beats for my videos.
We interrupt today's program to bring you what in the world? I mean, what is this? When did this happen? Okay, looks like the sky is either tearing up or someone really had like a disastrous end. Wow.
And simply put, today we're going to be making a bunch of beats that I can use as background music for my videos. And yes, I know, it took a while to get to this point, but I need that watch time. So picking up the pace from now on, let's start off by doing something that I haven't done at any given moment on the history of Lansellon Unlisted, which is to pre-plan my video. The planning for this video was much easier than what I've ever thought it would actually be. It was basically knowing the type of beat that I want to make and making it. And for anyone who's been watching my content for long enough would know that the type of beats that I make on this channel are more or less chill, mellow type beats, down to earth and not too hype and on your face type of thing. And with that in mind, let us try to recreate the feel that I couldn't find on YouTube's free library by myself in my home studio. I'm making it sound like it's impossible. It is not, but I just like it when it's a bit more dramatic. First, beat. I wanted to do some R&B inspired stuff, so I decided to go with this chord progression that I built on Jira. And if we're talking R&B, it's not R&B if we don't layer our sounds. So I copied the chord progression and played it at a high octave using a pad that I found in Analog Lab. For the counter melody, I use this patcher preset with a bunch of effects added to it. And when I say a bunch, I mean a bunch. Now for the bass, you can never go wrong with Boo Bass. And lastly, I use these crispy drums to play a nice simple groove, and I layered it later by this percussion loop that I found.
What if we had a song that starts with this darky piano? And what if we added some type of halftime synth with some swingy groove to it? You know what would be nice right now? A high-pitched percussion that is playing sort of a counter melody. And you know what they say, you can never go wrong with Boo Bass. Lastly, let's bring in those grungy drums. And altogether, it sounds something like this.
I've also made 2 more beats, but I guess for the sake of time, they'll be kept as a surprise for the next video. So that said, look out for the next Lansellon Unlisted episode. This is all for today. Thank you so much for all the love, and I hope it continues. For those of you who are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment, and do all the things that YouTubers ask for, because I really do help. It really do help, not only for my morale, but also for this channel, you know what I'm saying? Slowly but surely, we've been getting into the algorithm. The watch time has been doing great, you know what I'm saying? The views might not be as much, but the reach to new viewers is increased, which is a lovely thing to see, especially at this season of my life, where I am getting closer and closer to finishing this big project that I've been talking to you guys about for the longest time. Is the very reason that I'm doing Lansellon Unlisted in the first place, is to help me, you know, get the view count and the subscriber count up, so that when, you know, the big project comes up later this year, it doesn't turn into a flop, if that makes sense. So with that said, thank you so much again. It really means a lot. I mean, I'm talking about your support, and if God may allow it, I'll see you hopefully next week.